We are live. Good evening, everyone. Bitcoin just smashed $17,000. We are living in and through some extremely exciting times for those of us who have been involved in crypto over the past 3 years, where we were living through this bear market. So many people doubted the technology. They referred to this entire industry as a scam, as a Ponzi scheme, that this technology doesn't have any promise, nor does it have a future. And here we are, day after day, week after week, overcoming all of the naysayers. And it's exciting. If you are a holder of stocks, you're probably performing well. If you are a holder of various different cryptocurrency projects, you are performing extremely well. Your portfolio, might I add. I've said this time and time again. Depending on which segment of the economy you are in, as far as employment is concerned, or just as far as where you may fall, in the economic hierarchy, certain segments are going to feel like they are in a boom. And then other segments will feel like they are living and experiencing the Great Depression. And this is why it's important for you to really start taking a step back and asking yourself, am I following people or following information and advice that's preparing me for the Great Reset, that is preparing me for the future? Or am I listening to people who they are just trying to make a quick buck, they are a Johnny come lately, or they are teaching me or in trying to instill in me outdated ways of thinking? I sit up here and I can accurately predict these things, not because I'm some genius, but just because I can simply put two and two together. And at a certain point, if a person's been wrong about something for 11 years, and this is in terms of Bitcoin and just crypto in general, from the people like Norio Rubini, the Dan Penas, the Peter Schiffs of the world, the different institutional banks and institutional investors, PayPal, the list goes on and on and on. At a certain point, you have to stop listening to these people because they just flat out don't understand the technology. And I keep emphasizing that to you, that Bitcoin is not just this currency, right? Bitcoin is a protocol. Ethereum is a protocol. And when you start understanding what a protocol is designed to do, and that this is technology that you can actually start building on to do different things, then you understand that you're not just buying into, some currency that's used on the dark web, but you're buying into the intellectual capacity of all of the developers and engineers and people that are working behind the scenes on this technology. Once you understand that, now you can really start putting yourself giving yourself a better understanding as to where this can potentially go. Now, what you need to keep in mind, and we're going to dive into this a little bit later in the video, what you're going to start to see now that we've cracked $17,000 is you're going to start to see all of these Johnny come latelys, the Ty Lopez's of the world, the Boyce Watkins of the world. They're going to come to you with all of these private groups and seminars and webinars where they're going to teach you how to get involved with the technology, how to make a whole bunch of money, how to get rich. I'm telling you, your income is directly correlated to your skill set and your value in the marketplace. Anyone that's trying to promise you that you're going to get rich quick, that you're just going to buy their course, that you're going to join their trading group and you're going to make a bunch of money, if you follow their Telegram chat, they're going to give you signals. Run as far away as possible. There's no such thing as a free lunch, because all of these people that will start coming into this space and selling you this stuff, ask yourself a very simple question. Where have they been for the past 2 years? Right? You can't go from being a WAP and a Lizzo expert, right, You can't be a WAP and a Lizzo expert last week. You can't be going to ancient Kemet 2 weeks ago, and now all of a sudden you know about cryptography, you know about hash functions, you understand computer science, you understand how to program, you know about protocols, you know about ECDSA. That's impossible. You got to start using your brain and not allowing people to manipulate you. If you missed out on this initial move, what should you be doing? What do I always preach? Dollar cost averaging, waiting for a pullback, waiting for better times to get involved. And you need to be joining communities of people who they actually understand the technology, not people who are just looking to make a quick buck. Because I promise you, easy come, easy go. If you start following these people who have trading bots, who have private telegrams and signals, you're going to lose your Bitcoin. You're going to lose your Ethereum. Make sure that you are being very, very, very intelligent emotionally, right? Because you have intelligence here in your mind, that there's intellect here, but you also have to have emotional intelligence. Money is emotional, and people are going to try to get your money. Don't fall for it. That's why I created my Tech Academy, and I designed it the way that I designed it, so that those of you who are looking to get an understanding and learn in a safe environment can learn. There's an extreme difference between a person who's trying to teach you versus a person who's trying to sell you. Let me say that again for you. It's extremely different. There's an extreme difference between a person who's trying to teach you versus the person who's trying to sell you. So, with that being said, as you come into the live stream, please like the video, share the video, subscribe, and make sure that you click the notification bell and set it to all so that you can receive all of my notifications. Also, please be sure to join my mailing list so that you will be notified via email in case YouTube does not send out the notifications to you. Also, if you want to contact me, a link to my Instagram is in the description below. Simply click the link, follow me on Instagram, and shoot me a DM. For those of you who are interested in learning about blockchain technology, learning about cryptocurrencies, and also learning about how to program and develop, we are currently having a coding bootcamp go on right now. We have a free 7-day trial to my Tech Academy. A link is in the description below. Simply click the link, join, see if you like it. You like it, stick around. If not, you can cancel free of charge. For those of you who are looking to book a consultation, you can come over here to my website, click on book a consultation, and then I will send you the dates and the times that I'm available, and then you will pick the time that best suits you. For those of you we've already had consultations, all of the documentation that I need to send you, whatever Word documents or Excel documents, that will be sent out to you within the next 2 days. For those of you who are investing with me, right? Those of you who are investing in my fund, understand that the contracts have been sent out to you. You have a set amount of time to get that contract signed through DocuSign and then have the money deposited into the holding company. If the money isn't there within the time that the contract ends, that date, it's null and void. So please, these are time-sensitive things. So make sure that you are following through on your end. Don't come to me 2 days after that date expired on the contract or a day after, because now we're going to have to draw up a whole nother contract. We spoke on the phone. We did our consultations. You agreed to the terms. Get the money in the account. With that being said, guys, make sure that you can, if you can see me clearly and you can hear me clearly, type 1 in the chat and we can get started with our live stream. Just give me a 1. Looks like there may be a delay coming through. Okay, we are good to go. So we see someone's coming in. How's it going, Candace? Candace, I'm going to respond back to you with the information that you sent me through Instagram. I will respond back probably after this video. I'll hit you up in a DM on Instagram. So let's come here. So let's just look at the market real quick. So right now we got Bitcoin. Bitcoin's trading at $17,678. understand, guys, you do not have to buy a whole Bitcoin. This is why you need to join My Tech Academy. And we also have a Slack group. For those of you who are part of the Academy, we're no longer using the community tab inside of My Tech Academy. We're using the Slack group. Come into the Slack group so that we can communicate. We have different channels for different things inside of Slack. Excuse me. So you do not have to buy a full Bitcoin. You can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like, for example, you have $1, one whole dollar bill. You have a penny. You have a nickel. You have a quarter. Or you got 50 cents. Or you can buy fractions of a Bitcoin. So you could buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. You can buy $50 worth of Bitcoin. Right? It's the denomination of Bitcoin is Satoshis. So again, if you go through My Tech Academy, we cover that type of stuff. Ethereum trading at 485. Ethereum actually hasn't been moving lockstep with Bitcoin, right? Ethereum actually has been kind of following behind Bitcoin. And I believe that Ethereum probably in the coming weeks is going to get that explosion to the upside, especially with all of the ETH that's starting to get locked up into ETH 2.0, into the contract. And remember, for those of you who bet me that ETH 2.0 would not launch this year, you guys still haven't paid me my bet. I'm waiting for you. Waiting. XRP is absolute garbage, but it's trading a little well. It's trading well today. Chainlink, Chainlink is one of my favorite cryptocurrencies. Right now, it's the number 5, trading at $13.78. Litecoin, absolute garbage, $74.40. Polkadot is trading at 481. Polkadot's another one of my projects that I'm really, really high on. I own a little bit of Cardano, but I think it's absolute garbage. Well, I wouldn't say absolute garbage, but it's sort of trending that way. You have Monero. Monero's my baby for privacy reasons. Tezos, I have a big bag of Tezos, but it's not performing that well. I would say Tezos is looking like hard garbage compared to Cardano, so let me correct that. Let's look at this. Atom's one of my favorites. Atom's performing well as well. $5.23. Aave. We're going to dive deep into the DeFi course that's coming up, and I forgot to announce that. Next week, the DeFi course is coming out. This is going to be a really, really big course. I think it's probably going to be like almost 3 to 4 hours. We're really going to dive into the whole idea of decentralized finance. So be on the lookout for that, and for those of you who are part of My Tech Academy. And here goes this Yearn finance thing again. I wouldn't touch it. Uni. This is something I want to talk about. Notice that how the market is performing well, but Uni is trading at $3.75. Now, if you went through the academy and I taught you guys in the Ethereum course how to use Uniswap, you got those free Uni tokens. So just for listening to the information I provide to you, many of you were able to get a free $2,000 to $2,600 by utilizing Uniswap. The problem is I told you guys, dump that token. A lot of you saying, oh, I want to hold the token. It's an airdrop. Dump the token and convert it to ETH. If you did that, you was able to book anywhere from $2,200 to $2,600, because now look at this. The rest of the market is doing well, but the Uni token isn't doing that well. And I don't believe that this token is going to do well. I believe that they just duct taped the token onto the actual platform just to have a governance model to try to compete with the whole thing that happened with Sushi. This is why it's important to be a part of a group, right? Having a group of people who can teach you, right? I've been doing this for 8 years. Every time I see airdrops like this, or I see a knee-jerk reaction because of what happened with Sushi Swap to create a token, I knew that this token wasn't going to perform well. Now, it's not saying that it may not perform well in the future, but if you would have listened to me, you was able to get about 6 Ethereum at that time, right? So make sure that you're paying attention to, just when a person's getting something right over time, make sure that you keep that in mind. So let's look at the Bitcoin chart. I mean, this is just this is an absolute monster, right? Let's look at this tier. Like, we literally pushed up through here to this trend line. And again, I'm not that big on technical analysis. I like to mix technicals with fundamentals. But I mean, let's just zoom in a little bit. This monster, it's just been on a tier, 11,000, 12,000, 13,000. And this is a weekly chart that I'm looking at. So we're definitely in overbought territory. Excuse me. But this can keep going. Remember, see, Remember that we went through the halving, right? So the issuance of Bitcoin was cut in half, the block subsidy. So you don't know how literally how high this can go, because see, with Bitcoin, it's not like a stock. Remember, we're dealing with a deflationary currency. So now that there's less supply being issued in each block, that means that there's less supply for more people, for new people coming in to get their hands on. And with grayscale and these hedge funds getting involved, we may not get a pullback for the next 2-3 weeks. Now, I personally believe that we're going to get a pullback, but you just don't know. I mean, this can keep going up and up and up and up for the next week or two. So remember, make sure that you're paying attention to that and just being mindful of that. Do not buy pumps. Again, this is not financial advice. I believe in dollar cost averaging. I don't buy on green, I buy on red. When I see a pump like this at 17,000, I'm like, I personally would tell you guys to make sure that you are being, financially responsible and not chasing pumps. I buy red. When everyone wants to sell, when the market's pulling back, when there's a dip, like if I can get a 5%, 10% pullback, that's when I'm looking to allocate capital. That's when I'm looking to deploy some money. But I don't buy on green. Up days, I don't buy. So I wanted to share this article with you. Let me put this in the chat for you guys. This is a really, really good article, and I wanted to share this with you guys. Right? So it says, why Bitcoin is skyrocketing. Now, there is a multiple of reasons why Bitcoin is skyrocketing. This is just one of the reasons, and this is Metcalfes Law in basically supply and demand. And I want to read a little bit of this for you. It says, in the 1970s and early 1980s, a young entrepreneur named Robert Metcalfe, pictured below, proposed that a simple equation would be responsible for explosive growth in the value of technology. You may not have heard of him before reading this, but he's best known for inventing the Ethernet cable. Today, he's a venture capitalist and a professor at the University of Texas. Metcalfe theorized that the value of a network is roughly proportional to the square of the number of users who adopt it. To give an example, if you were the only person in the world with a smartphone, it wouldn't be super useful because you couldn't reach anyone. However, as the adoption of smartphones grew over time, the value of the network grew proportionally. Today, the world's most valuable company, Apple, has ridden this exact wave. Much of the explosive growth of technology companies can be attributed to so-called network effects, where every new person who joins a network makes the network more valuable. Very important that you understand this. As we onboard more people into the cryptocurrency ecosystem, the more valuable this ecosystem is going to be. I keep screaming this over and over again, and I keep repeating myself. But again, guys, I have to do this because new people are joining. The total market cap of the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem right now is $504 billion. That's an absolute baby. It's tiny. When you compare it to things like the derivatives market or the stock market's worth over $100 trillion. So when you just look at that, just from a pure numbers standpoint, you can't compare a baby that's in its infancy stage to a market like the stock market that's existed for over 100 years. We have nothing but upside ahead of us in terms of this technology and where it can go. And I keep telling you that Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these different protocols, they're technologies. So you're buying into the network, and you're buying into the idea of, as more and more people come into this network, it makes the network stronger, it makes the ecosystem stronger, and it makes it more valuable. It says network effects made young geeks far richer, far faster than the titans of industry before them. Network effects apply in many areas where people don't expect them. They apply socially, as friends introduce friends, bringing opportunities for business and romance. This is where the term networking came from. Network effects allow places like Harvard, from where Metcalfe got his PhD, to charge more than the average person makes in a year for tuition, room, and board. Now, I always say that there really isn't a difference between going to Harvard and going to your local, CUNY or SUNY school. The difference is the network. The difference is when you're paying that high tuition to tap into the resources at Harvard, the network at Harvard, because you're now rubbing shoulders with former presidents' daughters and children and sons, right? Your roommate may go on to be a CEO at Tesla, right? May go on to be an executive on the board. That's what you pay for when you go to these top-notch Ivy League schools. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for the network. You ever heard the saying your net worth is directly tied to your network? Think about this. Keep that in mind. And this is why I keep trying to say to you about joining groups, making sure that you're joining and partnering with the right people. You're joining an environment, not where a person's giving you signals and telling you, oh, buy this coin, buy that coin. Because the sad thing is that type of stuff, it works until it doesn't work, until eventually they pull a rug from underneath you and you lose all your money. You need to be focusing on getting in groups where you're networking, you're learning, and you're building relationships. Because that's how I was able to get to where I am today. By networking with individuals, by building relationships, building value, exchanging value for value. I keep trying to tell a lot of you, right now, if you're struggling financially, you need to figure out a way to make yourself more valuable in the marketplace. That's the important thing. You need to increase your value in the marketplace because there are segments of the economy. For example, if you are a blockchain developer, the entry-level salary for a blockchain developer is $74,000. And I'm talking about these are people with, 1, 2, maybe 3 years of experience, and they're making $74,000, depending on, again, how knowledgeable you are. And this is entry-level jobs. Now, what happens if you get to the point where you're above an entry-level job? There's some people make $250,000 a year working. We're not even talking about building your own cryptocurrencies and trying to do your own startup and stuff like that. We're just talking about just from an employment standpoint. And this is why I keep stressing the coding bootcamp stuff to you guys. Yes, it's difficult, but that's what you need to be focusing on, right? The future, you need to be thinking about, how can I learn about this technology from the standpoint of 1, being an entrepreneur, 2, being an investor, and 3, from the employment standpoint, because this is the future where all the jobs will be. And these are remote-based jobs. Remote means that I can sit here in my office and I can be working for a company in Australia. I could be working for a company all the way in Europe. And I could be working for a company and working on my own projects as well. So keep that in mind for those of you who are going through the coding bootcamp, that I know a lot of you may be struggling with some of these concepts. You don't learn this stuff in a week or a weekend. And that goes back to, like I was saying to you before, about a lot of these Johnny-come-latelys, the Ty Lopez's of the world and the Boyce Watkins of the world, who are going to try to tell you that they have all of this knowledge about crypto or try to sell you a course. Who are you learning from, and what experience do they have with this technology, right? Because if they're just a person who just popped up last weekend and they're just trying to sell you on some information, that, should you be paying for that? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. That's not for me to tell you, but I would be very leery of a person who, for 2 years, they weren't talking about crypto, ECDSA, hash functions, computer science, coding, blockchain. I would be very, very leery of a person who just popped up today and was telling me, oh, hey, yeah, I got an idea for something for you to buy. Make sure that you are paying attention to who is trying to give you information, because if you come on my channel, I have a video, and remember, I've been in this for over 8 years, but even go through my channel back in April 10th of 2019. I think this was my second video on this channel. I was talking about Bitcoin. I was talking about crypto. On my other YouTube channel that I used to have back in 2017, 2018, I was talking about crypto. I was putting in the work, right? So I'm knowledgeable about this information, not because, I think that I'm all that, but because I put the work in. And I'm still learning every day, because this is a broad, like as I said before, this industry is so broad, and you're mixing so many different disciplines. You're mixing economics and economic game theory and computer science and mathematics and cryptography, right? You're mixing and blending a lot of different things together. But this is what I do. I'm not here this week trying to be the WAP expert, the Lizzo expert, the pro-black expert, the Trayvon Martin expert, the coronavirus expert. I'm not trying to do that. I stay in my lane. I focus on the economics, and I focus on the what's happening in crypto. And I may dive deeply, briefly into some other topics, but this is what I do. I focus on crypto. So just keep that in mind with a lot of these people that's going to start popping up and trying to sell you these different things, because I want to play this video for you, the BitConnect video, because I want to go somewhere right now, because I'm starting to see this right now. So this right here is a Ponzi scheme. And I just want you to look at this. Look how excited these adults were. So many people fell for this Ponzi scheme. So many adults, or even, big quote unquote, people who knew about finance and people who have large followings were able to fall for this Ponzi scheme. So just listen to this foolishness, and then I'll give you my commentary.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. What's up, Hey, everybody. My name is Carlos Matos, and I am coming from New York City, New York. Let me tell you guys that I am so excited. I am so happy. I am really so thrilled to be right now sharing this amazing, glorious, super and exciting moment of my life with all of you guys. And let me tell you that we are really changing the world as we know it. The world is not anymore the way it used to be. No. Be connected. Wow. Be connected. We are coming, and we are coming in waves. We are starting, and we are going to actually go all over the world. We are belting the entire world. Let me tell you guys that I started 137 days ago with only $25,610. And right now I am reaching $140,000.
Right. I share this with you because, see, the thing about scams and Ponzi schemes is they work until they don't work. One day you wake up and you can't withdraw your funds. You can't take out your Bitcoin. And then they promise you, oh, there's just a technical error. We're going to fix this. And then, boom, you lose your money. See, I knew that BitConnect was a scam just based on the fact of a trading bot. Think about this for a second. Again, guys, I trade and manage money for a living. If you have a trading bot that can make 5 or 10% every single month, think about it. You can't lose money. If this bot can make you 5 to 10% every single month, why would you take this bot and sell it to mom and pop investors like you and I? Why would you not take that trading bot and go sell it to an investment bank and get billions of dollars by just simply hedging the market and trading the market? Right? That wouldn't make any sense, because obviously you're money motivated if you want to sell the bot to people. Well, why not just go where all the money is at? See, if something is too good to be true, then it's too good to be true. If a person's telling you that you can invest your money with them and that it's just going to compound and grow every single month, then common sense should be telling you that, well, why are you telling me for? Why not just go to where the big boys is at and do that? Right? Now, think about this, right? You have to have a brain. Now, remember, we're dealing with blockchain technology, right? So everything on a blockchain, especially with Bitcoin, it's an open public ledger. So if you had a trading bot that was trading that much volume, I would be able to find the transactions throughout the blockchain. I would be able to find these transactions on chain, or I should be able to find these transactions by looking through Binance or OKX or Bybit or whatever platform you're trading through, or BitMEX. You could not find this trading volume anywhere that this bot was trading. If you had a bot that's trading $2 or $3 billion, I should be able to find where that volume is at. Even if they try to break it up into tranches of, 30 million or 40 million, you would be able to spot that volume. You could not find that volume anywhere on any exchange. I went and I looked. Again, you cannot be stupid with your money. If you play stupid games, you will win a stupid prize. The stupid prize is you lose your money. If you play a smart game and you understand about dollar cost averaging, implementing some strategies, buying some type of protection such as puts, etc., you'll know how to protect your portfolio. You don't have to get, 10% every single month to get rich in crypto. There are two types of people who get rich in crypto: holders and founders of cryptocurrencies. That's it, right? At a certain point, you got to start paying attention and keeping a mental note of what's going on. Again, I didn't get this far by being stupid. And like I said, if you play stupid games, you will win a stupid prize. I'm trying to teach you not to be stupid. I'm trying to teach you to be intelligent. I'm trying to teach you to think like a smart investor and be very, very smart, right? So someone just asked me about Tika. The guy Tika Tahari. Think about this. If I get on here right now and I say, buy this coin, buy that coin, buy this coin, buy that coin, buy this coin, and 9 out of the 10 either lose you money or turn out to be a scam, but one coin does 100x, should you trust me? Hell no. Because listen, a blind squirrel can eventually find an acorn. If I sit up here and I keep telling you, if I sit up here and say, you know what, the sun's going to come up, the sun's going to come up, the sun's going to come up, eventually I'm going to be right. That doesn't mean that my investment information is good. See, people love to count their wins. No one likes to count their losses. So when people say, well, Tika stuff pumps, yeah, it pumps. But what about the stuff that doesn't? You have a finite amount of money, right? You got to think about this. Think about this. It's not complicated. I don't have enough money to invest in every one of your ideas, right? So if most of your ideas either dumps, if most of your ideas don't make me money, then I don't want to be putting my money in the things that you're talking about. And this is why I keep trying to say to you, you got to make sure that you are educating yourself and not following these people, because I'm telling you, you're going to start seeing a bunch of Telegram chats pop up. You're going to start seeing all these people who are doing drop shipping, and they were doing assignment of contract, and they were trading options. Now all of a sudden they're going to be cryptocurrency trading experts. Right? These people, they jump from hype cycle. They're here to try to sell you a product. You need to be focusing on, like I said before, for me personally, you should be focusing on, again, if you're broke and because most people trying to get into trading are people who are trying to, make some quick money. Think about this. You're going to spend hours reading charts. You're going to spend hours looking at charts. You're going to spend hours going from guru to guru, trying to learn this trading pattern, trying to learn a bull flag, trying to learn a pennant, right? All of this stuff, and you're going to probably blow your account and lose your money. Or what you can do is, how about this? How about you go learn how to code and build your own trading bot? And even if your trading bot loses money, at least you've learned a skill that makes you valuable in the marketplace. So that 8 months or a year that you've invested into learning how to code and build your own trading bot, when you blow your account, because 95% of traders lose their money, all of their money. When you blow your account, at least now you'll be able to go and get a job and try to make back your money. If you sit around here for the next 9 months to a year, looking at charts, drawing lines on your chart, and you blow your account, you just wasted a year of your life and you've learned nothing. Because you can't put that on a resume and say, hey, I'm an amazing chart reader. I can show you how to lose your money very, very quickly. No job's going to want to hire you for that. So think about this, right? Let's use your brain here. Try to develop skills. Become more resourceful in the marketplace. Become more valuable. Learn a skill that you can actually go out here and make money with, right? Learning how to be a developer, learning how to be a coder, learning how to be a programmer, you can make money. So even though you may blow your account, you can put that on a resume and go get a job. You cannot put I'm a chart reader on a resume. Can't do that, okay? Just want you to keep that in mind, right? So I wanted to cover another thing right here, right? So I was talking about one of the reasons why Bitcoin is performing well. This right here is a negative bond yield matrix. So many countries, right? Their interest rates, if you look at Switzerland, Germany, the Netherlands, Denmark, Austria, they're either at 0% or going into negative territory. So when you're looking at you got to think about this. A lot of institutional investors, big money investors, they're seeking yield. You're not getting yield in any of these investments right now, right? When you're looking at bonds, so many institutional investors, especially when they're investing boomer money, they're looking for yield. Well, look at these yields. They're negative across the board. And I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before the Fed goes negative with interest rates. So this is going to push investors to seek out yield. Yield means a return, right? Growth. Stock market's at $100 trillion market cap. Stocks are grossly overbought. Gold, everyone's piling into gold. Well, the gold market cap's worth over $10 trillion. So that means it takes another $10 trillion to double it. Where do you think the capital is going to flow? The capital is going to flow where? It's going to flow into crypto. Why? Because assets swing like a pendulum from overvalued to undervalued. I just told you crypto's worth $500 billion. So you're going to start to see all of that money start pouring into crypto and pouring into Bitcoin. Why do you think you're seeing all of these hedge funds and big money investors like Stanley Druckenmiller and Paul Tudor Jones getting involved in Bitcoin? Because they need to be investing in something that's going to yield some type of return, because we're going to negative interest rates. Like, you're going to wake up one day, this is what I believe, and you're going to have a bail-in where they're going to confiscate everyone's money and use that basically to bail you into the new financial system, which is going to be the same thing just with the Fed coin. That's what I believe is going to happen. Another reason why is deflation, right? Boomers are extremely deflationary, and every day 10,000 boomers reach retirement age. So see, you have to understand, because a lot of you keep saying, well, I don't really get what you're saying, because one minute you say it's inflation, the next minute you're saying it's deflation. It's both. The Fed is trying to fight deflation, which is why they inflate the currency, because they're trying to fight off deflation, because technology is extremely deflationary and older people are deflationary. Think about it. The boomers, they're retiring, right? So if boomers are retiring, they're going to spend less because they're going to earn less, because their whole idea of their pension is they have to basically live off half of what they used to make when they were working. Well, that's less income that they have. Also, remember that boomers are heavily invested into the stock market, 401ks, pensions. Well, guess what? If they're retiring, that means that's money coming out of the stock market. So what does the Fed do? To fight off that deflation, they inflate the currency. So this is another reason why the assets like Bitcoin is going to perform well, because people who are looking at the trends, seeing negative interest rates, seeing deflation. Now we have the whole squad. We have AOC, Ilhan Omar, the Rashida lady, Biden, Harris. That's inflation. We know Green New Deal, free education for everyone, free healthcare for everyone. We know that that stuff's not true. That's going to come at the expense of inflation, because they're going to inflate like this to fight off deflation. And then when you have socialist Marxist ideologies like Black Lives Matter and all of these type of different groups have an influence on political campaigns, what do you think is going to keep happening? You think that magically they're going to try to balance a budget? You think magically that the government is going to stop printing money? Now, again, like I said before, you have to make sure that you're paying attention to what's going on. It's just putting 1+1 together and coming up with 2. You don't have to be a PhD in finance and economics to see what's going to happen. Now, the next thing here I want to talk about is the Ethereum 2.0 contract, the deposit contract. At first, they were having a little bit of trouble, basically, getting the contract, getting enough people to deposit into the contract. And I believe that a lot of people are holding back. I believe a lot of whales are going to start jumping in and depositing into the contract once we get closer to the end date, the deadline. I think that just a lot of people there's no real incentive yet to deposit it in this early. So I think the closer we get to a week before December 1st, you're going to start to see more whales piling into staking their ETH and putting it into the new contract. But what a lot of people don't understand is that Ethereum had a hard fork. There was a bug in the Geth, right? So it says, according to a technical write-up published by Geth, the largest Ethereum client written in the Go language, a denial of service attack vector was intentionally triggered by a downstream user as a test, resulting into a 30-block minority chain. Basically, there was a hard fork. There was a split. I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's very, very technical. I want to just say this. This is why Ethereum could never be money. This is a science project. Could be a hell of a science project. Can be very, 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 very profitable. Those of you know me, I am a big investor in Ethereum. I have a lot of money in ETH. I believe in the technology. I believe in the whole DeFi, decentralized finance. But no institutional investor, no money manager is going to put his money into something like this where the monetary policy changes every 2 to 3 years. They're always introducing different EIPs. No one's going to do that. This is a science project. And big money's just not trusting that. It's just not going to happen. Now, again, I'll put this in here for those of you who are real technical and you want to dive into this stuff. The bottom line is every day or every other week, we're waking up to some type of a bug, either with ETH, some type of delay with the Ethereum protocol, or some type of DeFi project that's running on top of the Ethereum blockchain. They're being exploited. They're being hacked. No serious money managers putting their money into thinking that this is going to be new money. That's one thing that Bitcoin does really, really well. It's slow. It's clunky. You don't see a lot of development happening on it for a reason, because things break. And you can't go to your investors and say, hey guys, sorry, but you have $280 billion or $300 billion into my science project, and I broke the project and I lost all of your money. That just doesn't make any sense, right? So we go from there. Now, this is another funny thing. We're going to, just kind of gloat a little bit, because this is a guy named Keith McCullough, right? And he tweeted out, he runs this service called Hedgeye. He's supposed to be this big hedge fund guy. And they have a Twitter page where they're just basically tracking how much Bitcoin is up since Keith McCullough sold. And Bitcoin is up $7,051 since he announced with his wisdom that he's going to sell. Well, he sold and Bitcoin kept going up because of some quad 4 strategy that he has. And this again goes back to my point of, who are you listening to and why are you listening to them, right? This is what you have to understand. Who are you listening to and why are you listening to them? Because again, Mr. Keith McCullough, he has all of this hedge fund wisdom and he has all of this knowledge, yet the price is up 66.52% since he sold. Another thing that I track right here is your stimulus check, right? If you took your stimulus and you put your stimulus check into Bitcoin, it tells you how much your $1,200 stimulus would be worth, right? So your $1,200 stimulus today would be worth $3,082, and it would be up 157%, right? If you took your money and you put it into Bitcoin and your stimulus check, which a lot of you did, lucky for you, you was able to come up and make some money. Another person I want to show you about is Peter Schiff, right? Because this is the guy, he's always talking to you about, Bitcoin. Zoom in a little bit.
be traded for another product. It can be used. If I'm gonna put my wealth, if I'm gonna take $10,000 and store them in Bitcoins, how do I know that a year or two from now anybody is going to accept them for anything? What if it's a fad and nobody wants them? See, the thing with gold is gold has value all by itself. If I don't have to be able to spend it, I can melt it down, I can make it into jewelry, I can use it in electronics. It has all sorts of properties that make gold intrinsically value all by itself, right? It doesn't have to be traded for another product. It can be used. If I'm gonna put
that video right there is basically tracking if you put $10,000 into gold versus putting $10,000 into Bitcoin at the same time, when Peter Schiff was basically saying he'll rather put his money in gold than Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin far outpaced gold in terms of how much money you would have been able to make. Because I keep trying to tell you, gold is a store of value. Gold is a hedge against inflation. Gold is meant to preserve wealth. It is not used to build wealth. I own gold, lots of it, but I know why I'm buying gold. I'm buying gold to protect the wealth that I already have. But if I'm a person, I'm trying to build wealth, I'm not putting my money into gold. If I'm trying to build wealth, I'm putting my money into assets that are new, that technology that's new, that's going to be extremely disruptive. If you go and you follow the lady Kathy, I believe her name is Catherine Wood, she has the whole ARK Invest. I think she has an index as well. And she was talking about, like just the different type of technologies and things that she's investing in. You don't know how many different industries that the technology that you're investing in is going to disrupt and bleed into. Like, think about your iPhone. Like when I look at my iPhone is a map. My iPhone can buy my groceries. My iPhone is a powerful camera. My iPhone is an encyclopedia. My iPhone can get me a cab. Like, that's so many different industries that this phone is able to bleed into. That's revenue that's coming towards Apple. So no one knew that Apple was going to one day become a $2 trillion company. No one could have ever thought that. But that's the power of technology. Look at Tesla. I didn't even think that Tesla could get as big as it is today. And it's still going. You don't know how big this company is going to be, right? When Tesla perfects the self-driving car, the self-driving truck, the self-flying plane, how disruptive is that going to be? All of that revenue pouring into that company. Look at Amazon. Look how big Amazon is. They're getting into delivering your groceries now. They're getting into buying groceries like Whole Foods. They are into delivering your medications now to you, right? Destroying the retail industry. You have no idea how big this technology can become. And it's the same thing with Bitcoin or Ethereum. Like, you have no idea how big this can become because this technology is disruptive, right? It disrupts intermediaries, right? So if you're talking about financial services and we're talking about, a 28 or 38 or $48 trillion global industry, and we're trying to disrupt financial services, if we can capture 10% of that market, 20% of that market, what do you think the value of crypto is going to be? Right? You have to start thinking that way. And I keep trying to say to you that this is technology. So now you can listen to Peter Schiff, who's telling you, go buy a piece of gold, right? You can do that. You can go and buy your gold coin and hold on to your gold coin, or you can start thinking about disruptive technology. What if Bitcoin can become digital gold? And the gold market cap's worth $10 trillion, and Bitcoin's only worth, what, 300 billion? What happens if Bitcoin gets to $1 trillion market cap or a $2 trillion market cap? What would the price of Bitcoin be then? So $100,000 Bitcoin to me is easy. I don't even think twice about Bitcoin getting to $100,000 because I understand where this technology is going and why it's going that way. Because of the deflationary aspects of the currency and because of what's happening with the macro theme. Another thing I wanted to show you, another person, right? Because days like this is days where people like me, people like myself, who I've been ridiculed, I've been called a pumper, a Ponzi scheme promoter. I like to gloat when I see people like Peter Schiff keep getting it wrong. I like to gloat when I see people like Dan Pena refer to us as bitfucks and say that Bitcoin's going to zero. I love days like this because these people have huge platforms. And people like myself, I have a small platform. But yet I sit up here and I keep saying to myself, screaming to the high heavens that anyone will listen to me, these people are wrong. Stop listening to them.
Great calls I made is a year ago when Bitfuck was at $19,600. I said, but one of the great calls I made is a year ago when Bitfuck was at $19,600. I said, it's over. Smart money, sell half, keep half. My mentees lost billions because nobody listened to me. We got some bitfucks in there, I can tell. Too bad. Shows you the stupidity. Shows you the stupidity. And I know who's behind Bitcoin. And it ain't some fucking Japanese guy in a cave. I know the guy. And when that comes out, you heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero. Zero. When it comes out, zero.
Well, we're still waiting for him to give us this great wisdom as to who this guy is, who the Japanese guy isn't. Still waiting. Bitcoin hasn't went to zero. It's trading at $17,700 today. So now you could have listened to him, or you can listen to someone like myself. You could listen to him, and again, this isn't financial advice, but again, wrong. Wrong. Here he goes again. Let's just listen to how I want to focus on the confidence. See, that's the thing, that these people are so confident and then they look stupid. And on days like this, they're quiet. You don't hear from him on days like this, on days like today.
Retarded investors. They're professional investors all of a sudden because they found a fucking $1,000 bill in the street. 99.999% of the people that own Bitcoin are fucking morons. Retarded imbeciles. That's just it. Some of you in this room fall into that category. You 99% of the $1,000 bill in the street. 99.999% of the people that own Bitcoin are fucking morons. Retarded imbeciles. That's just it. Some of you in this room fall into that category. You found a $1,000 bill in the street, just say, well, I found a $1,000 bill in the street. If you found a $1,000 bill in the street, what would you do with it? You cash it, right? You wouldn't hoard it, would you? It's exactly the same. You found some shit in the street that happened to go up in value. So don't ask me anymore. Go fuck yourselves, please.
Yeah, man. Just days like today, they're beautiful, man. When I just look back at so many people who doubted this technology, man, and they called it a scam and a scheme, and they were so confident, and they referred to us as bitfucks and told us to go fuck ourselves, and told us we're morons, and we're idiots, and then, they just keep getting it wrong, and it's quite comical to see. And to sit back and watch this stuff happen over and over and over again. And over and over again. Right? It's laughable. And now, these same people who were either quiet for the past 2 years or were critical for the past 2 years, now all of a sudden they're going to pop up and they're going to have these courses for you and these blockchain courses and these private groups that help you, give you these secrets to becoming a millionaire. There are no secrets to becoming a millionaire. Becoming a millionaire takes work, It takes patience and it takes timing. Right? Patience, work, and timing. And the only way you can get the timing right is you have to stay in the game long enough to win. Think about this. Not complicated. The only way I can make a shot or hit the ball is I have to be in the game. Many of you are not in the game long enough to ever get a hit, because the minute that you strike out or you miss a shot, you stop, you quit. You go run and try to find the next secret. You go jump to the next sport. Stay in the game long enough to get a hit. Hit a few singles, get on base. And then over time, your skill sets will evolve and you can hit a home run. Like, think about it. Steph Curry shoots what, 40, 50%? That means he either misses more shots than he makes, or he's about break even. That's how it's going to be in investing, right? But it's going to be those 2 or 3 good investments that you make that get you to financial freedom. Wealth is built over time. You don't build wealth in some weekend seminar. You don't build wealth in some Facebook group. That's called having a lottery ticket mentality. You build wealth like that. You build wealth by developing skills. Even those of you who are in a coding boot camp right now. Every other month, I'm buying new courses because there's always new technology coming out. There's always new software packages and programming languages and different ways of doing things. You have to constantly keep investing in your education. You don't just buy one course on Python and you stop and you just, oh, I'm a millionaire. You don't buy a course on Redux and all of a sudden you're a millionaire. It doesn't work that way, right? It takes time, it takes work, it takes dedication. You have to diligently keep building on something. I've been doing this for 12 years. I didn't just get here today. I've made money in certain places. I've lost money in certain places, right? But I'm still to this day buying courses. Why do I buy courses also? Because I want to get in groups around other people who may know more than me, who may have more resources than me, who may have better connections than me. So I want to get around those different minds to tap into that intellectual mind share. That's what I want to do. And that's what you should be doing. If you think I'm just buying one course and this guy's going to get me rich, you're delusional at best. What are your thoughts on Ethereum's future gains? Never thought Bitcoin would be outperforming it so easily, especially over the past 3 months. I believe that Ethereum is going to far outpace Bitcoin. Just looking at this, Ethereum is going to do much, much better than Bitcoin, I believe, over the next 3 to 5 years in terms of ROI, return on your investment. So, I disagree with you on that one. I easily see $5,000 Ethereum, maybe even higher. If ETH 2.0 can go through its different iterations, phase 0, phase 1, phase 1.5, and then phase 2, if we can make it through those 4 different phases and we don't have any hiccups, no major bugs and major flaws, Ethereum is going to be massive. When you start really thinking about the fact that when Satoshi created Bitcoin, he had currency in mind. Well, okay, that's just one aspect of finance, currency. Ethereum is trying to be the entire financial ecosystem. We're talking about insurance. We're talking about lending. We're talking about borrowing, right? We're talking about derivatives. Even when you look at the whole Yearn finance thing, like being able to have like a hedge fund and being able to buy into a hedge fund, like Ethereum's trying to be the entire financial stack ecosystem. So if that finance stack, if you see that, and if they can capture, 10% of financial services globally, right? Or like even look at something like Hex, like, time deposits. That's powerful stuff there, right? So Satoshi, he was smart enough to think about currency, but he didn't think broad enough. You cannot say that you're trying to change the, monetary system with just, currency. You have to also change it in terms of, like, there's more to banking than just currency and finance than currency. Like, what about credit? What about lending? What about borrowing? What about insurance? What about derivatives? Hedging, right? So I see Ethereum being much more valuable than Bitcoin could ever be, because Ethereum solves so many different problems if it can solve problems. Remember, when you are investing, you are not investing for what something is today. You are investing into what it can become in the future. So that's how I look at this technology. I look at Bitcoin as having the network effect, having the branding, but there are better cryptocurrencies than Bitcoin. Like, we have to be honest about the technology. Like, Monero is better than Bitcoin in every way. But again, Bitcoin has the first mover's advantage, and it has the branding. And once you get that branding, it's very hard to shake that. Like prime example, there's other search engines, and such as Bing and Yahoo, but everyone uses Google by default, right? So they were able to gobble up that mind share and that market share. It is what they have, the network effect. So Bitcoin has that right now, but I believe that going forward, Bitcoin's going to do well. I'm not saying it's not going to do well, but Ethereum's going that far outpace it. I mean, just look at what I have up right here right now. Year to date, Bitcoin's up 141%. Ethereum's up 272%. Think about that. Bitcoin's up 141% year to date. Ethereum's up 272% year to date. So Ethereum is outpacing Bitcoin and doing better. And remember, this is with Bitcoin being worth $327 billion. ETH is only worth $54 billion. Now remember, when you stake that Ethereum, removing the proof of stake, that's ETH that can't be sold, right? So that puts a floor, that puts buying pressure underneath Ethereum, because people are locking up that ETH for a very, very long time because they want to be able to stake and be a validator and earn those fees. So you have to think about that being the ecosystem. So I think that you should definitely keep that in mind. And thank you for the donation. Also, thank you for those of you who donate via PayPal. I keep saying this. Sometimes I just forget to, shout you guys out, but thank you for the donation. How do you feel about BlockFi, which is not FDIC approved but has APY? And can you move your money from a Coinbase wallet to a Nano offline? Of course you can. You can 100% take your money off Coinbase into your ledger. And I would encourage you that if you have the technical know-how, meaning you know what you're doing technically, if you're going through My Tech Academy, I cover everything: how to restore, how to reset the ledger, how to use it, everything. Use your ledger if you know how. Or there's other hard wallets and hardware wallets and other forms of cold storage. Your storage method should scale with your technical know-how. So if you know how to use these devices, then yes. But if you feel like you're going to lose your crypto or you're going to make a mistake, just leave your crypto inside of Coinbase. Honestly, I don't recommend that you do that. But at the end of the day, if you don't feel comfortable with putting your money on your device, leave it there. BlockFi is centralized. Period. So you are running the risk that they are basically, paying out your APY in some type of a Ponzi scheme manner. We just witnessed another one of these, high yield lending platforms or interest bearing platforms. I think it was Cred. They just basically filed for bankruptcy. So I'm not a fan of any centralized entity like BlockFi that's basically going to promise you that you can earn a yield on your Bitcoin. Your Bitcoin is very valuable. Excuse me. There will only be 21 million Bitcoin ever. So your Bitcoin is very, very valuable. And there are people out here that are trying to get your Bitcoin. And you have to be careful of these fractional reserve Bitcoin lending institutions where they take your Bitcoin and they're updating your ledger. But if you ever came and decided to take your Bitcoin at one time, if everyone did that, they wouldn't have the Bitcoin to give you back. So I personally would not want to put my money into something like BlockFi. I'd rather deal with DeFi protocols like Aave. I really, really like Aave because everything with Aave happens on chain, right? So I can see where the actual transactions are going and not going. So I believe in DeFi, decentralized finance. I don't believe in CeFi, centralized finance. And I look at BlockFi. I think it's a good platform, as far as like the technology and stuff like that. But I personally wouldn't want to put my money there because of counterparty risk. Remember, the whole purpose of crypto was to get rid of middlemen, was to get rid of counterparty. So again, I don't think it's a scam. I just think that it's a potential risk that one day they may not have all of the crypto to basically pay everyone out if everyone wanted to get it. So I don't think that you should be doing that, in my personal opinion. But with the whole Nano Ledger X, you can 100% take your crypto off of the Coinbase exchange. Chainlink is one of my favorite cryptocurrencies. I say this all the time. As the DeFi space goes, Chainlink goes. You need decentralized oracles. You need middleware to operate all of this DeFi stuff, right? In order for you to get external data from the outside world into the blockchain, you need a oracle like Chainlink. So the only way DeFi is going to grow and be big is as big as Chainlink can go, honestly. So, Chainlink's a monster. I easily see Chainlink being worth $100 billion easily. Like I don't even blink about Chainlink being worth $100 billion. Like easy. I don't even think twice. So Chainlink is by far one of my favorite cryptocurrencies. Ripple is absolute garbage. It is worthless. It is useless. You don't why do you need a bridge currency when you have stable coins? It just makes no sense. Right? Like why? Like then it's a company. Then you have X Rapid. Then you have Ripple the company. You have Ripple Labs. Like then you have them dumping the coin. They're paying people to use the technology. Like it's when you look at it, Ripple is everything that crypto is trying not to be. So now, could the coin make you money? Absolutely, it could. Anything can pump. I'm talking about from the technology standpoint. There's nothing superior about that technology. It's just not. Same thing with Litecoin. Like there's nothing superior about the technology. So you go there and figure it out. Mm-hmm. 100% free crypto education. Your Bitcoin is extremely valuable. I keep trying to tell people that your $100 worth of Bitcoin is valuable, right? Because you own a finite amount of the actual crypto. So, crypto is very, very important. What else is here? Let's see what you guys got. 100% Mr. G, the recycling guy. Dollar cost averaging is the way to go. 100%. Someone said Litecoin is up 23% in 7 days. And that's what I was saying to you guys. Just because there isn't anything happening as far as the technology developing doesn't mean that you can't make money. This is crypto, right? I mean, Dentacoin pumped. There was a coin called Dentacoin that pumped. You can make money in these coins. That doesn't mean the technology is good technology. JB said, hey, Eli, band literally pumped 40% the day after the last live stream on 11/5 when you told us to keep an eye on it. Again, this isn't financial advice. Make sure you're doing your own due diligence. But guys, I only recommend things or talk about things that either I've researched, I'm interested in seriously, or I have my money in. right? I'm not going to come on here and promote sushi or yam or any of this garbage that you see these other influencers doing. I don't do stuff like that. Like when I come here, I talk to you about things that can make you money. I have to say that to protect myself legally. I talk about stuff that can make you money. I don't sit up here and talk to you about, a guy that told me some secret. No, I focus on things. I focus on the technology because I understand this next bull run, the coins that are going to perform well are going to be the coins that have superior technology. It's not going to be like the ICO craze back in 2017, right? It's going to be, you have to have an actual functioning, working product, and you have to have a product market fit, right? You have to have a product that can fit into a market to then compete and take market share. It's not going to be like, oh, his Dentacoin, and one day the dentists are going to put their medical records on it. That's not going to happen. So go from there. And someone said about, I'm not going to say the guy's name, but someone put into the chat that one of these paid influencers, these big influencers, they have a paid Telegram group. Again, watch out for them. That's all I'm going to tell you. You're going to start to see a lot of people talking about secret chat rooms and Facebook groups and secret to building wealth and generational wealth and come to my class for $99. And I have this trading bot. I'm telling you, if you fall for that garbage, you'll make a little bit of money at the beginning. Excuse me. It's always like this. Excuse me. Wow. When the market's pumping, everything looks great. Everything makes money when the market is pumping. And then you wake up one day and you can't take your money out. You can't withdraw. The market's crashing and they pull the rug from underneath you. So again, take it from my experience. You could play around in the garbage if you want to. You could dumpster dive if you want to. God bless you and I wish you the best of luck, but be very, very careful with who you are listening to. No central bank is behind XRP. No central bank is behind XRP. Central banks are already coming up with their own cryptocurrencies. It's called the central bank digital currency. No one's using Ripple. No one's using Ripple, right? So at the end of the day, you can sit up here and keep listening to this idea they control trillions. I have tons of videos covering central bank digital currencies. They're not using Ripple. Remember, MoneyGram was supposed to be using Ripple. What happened to that? All of these partnerships over the past 3 to 4 years that Ripple was supposed to have, where are they? Which bank? What bank is using Ripple? Not what bank is Ripple paying for paying them to use it. Which banks are actually using it? None. It's done. Project's done. It's garbage. It's hype. It's absolute hype. So at the end of the day, you can sit up here and keep listening to this fantasy. And again, I'm not saying that you can't make money with the coin. I'm just talking about the technology. Right? What happened to them using the technology? What happened to them using the technology? Right? Right? What happened to all of these partnerships using the tech? Not who they're paying, not what percentage of the company they own. Who is using Ripple? The token, the company, whatever you want to, who's using it? No one. Simple. Let's see what's going on here. We're coming up on hour and 16 minutes. There's a lot of technical analysis going on, guys. Technical analysis becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everyone believes in it, therefore it works. Me personally, I believe that you need to have a fundamental reason as to why you're holding something or why you are investing in something. You can't just, buy something because it's a line on a chart, or sell something because there's a line on a chart. In my personal opinion, I just think that that's very, very, childish and amateurish. Now, in a bull market, these things, it tends to line up that way just because there's so much momentum in the markets. But again, you can really, really lose a lot of money trying to trade based around technical analysis. Most people are going to outperform the market by just simply holding. If you try to trade Bitcoin, at every single, support and resistance, most likely you end up missing out on the bigger moves. So I believe in dollar cost averaging and holding. Could I hop in something for a quick trade here or there? Like certain coins, absolutely, but never with my Bitcoin. So, and again, this isn't financial advice. But we're going to end it here. We're coming up on an hour and 17 minutes. I recently did an interview with Urban X TV. I would encourage you guys to go check out the interview. I'm going to share that here. Guys, definitely go take a look at the interview that I did. That's the interview that I did. And I'm going to wrap it up like this. Be very careful of a lot of these Johnny-come-latelys who just a week ago, they were, like I said earlier, they were WAP experts. They were Lizzo experts. They were talking about politics. They were talking about reparations. They were talking about the pandemic. And then now all of a sudden, they are crypto experts and they know all of the secrets about what to buy and sell. Be very, very careful. That's why I created My Tech Academy, to give you a safe space to learn about the technology from a really learning about like what's under the technology, not some, what's the next coin that's going 100x. I don't do that. If that's what you're looking for, that's not me, right? BitBoy Crypto, Chico Crypto, Ivan on Tech, those are the people for you. If you're looking for the next 100x coin, you need to go follow those people. If you want to know what to put my money in that's going to make me a millionaire next week, that's just not me. I don't have that information for you. But if you want to learn about the technology, you want to learn how to build some of this technology, you want to learn about what's going on under the hood, you want to learn about the economic game theory behind this technology and cryptography, then that's why I created My Tech Academy. We have a free 7-day trial that you are welcome to test and try out and see if you like it. Also, the DeFi course will be launched next week. This is a very, very dense course. It's a lot of information in the course. Guys, make sure that you take your time with it. Don't rush through it because it's a lot of information that I will be covering. For those of you who are looking to book a consultation with me, come over to the website, click on book a consultation. I'm going to send you the time and dates that I'm available, and then you will get back to me. For those of you who already had a consultation last week, any documents that I need to send you will be sent out over the next day or two. For those of you who are investing with me and you've already received the contract, if you don't have the contracts signed and the money deposited into the account, they will be voided after that date. So don't come hit me up a day later or 2 days later and say, oh my God, I have it done now. This is time sensitive information. Time is money. Get things done. So if you're investing in the fund, hurry up, get these things done, and we will go from there. I think that covers about everything I had to talk about. Yeah. So guys, please like the video. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, set your notifications to all so that you will receive my notifications when I go live. Make sure that you join my mailing list. A link will be in the description below so that you can be notified via email if YouTube doesn't send out the notifications. If you want to contact me and you want to dialogue, a link to my Instagram is in the description below. Click the link, shoot me a DM, and we can begin a dialogue in my inbox. And I think that covers a little bit of everything. So with that being said, guys, have a blessed and beautiful evening. May your bags continue to pump, and I will see you guys tomorrow.